What if I told you that a single penny could be worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills? Yes, 1 cent. Not a typo. One old copper coin hiding in your drawer could be worth $4 million in today's market. Let that sink in. $4 million. Now, before you laugh this off and scroll away, consider this. The rarest Lincoln penny ever minted, the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent, has recently shocked collectors by hitting the $4 million mark in private sale negotiations, and here's the twist. These coins weren't made for kings or hidden in vaults. They were circulated, handed to regular Americans like you and me. What if you've held this fortune in your hand, and let it go? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this coin is so insanely valuable, but also how to check if you already have one, and more importantly, how to sell it smartly and transform your life completely. But first, let's rewind time and discover how this tiny piece of copper became a millionaire maker. The year is 1909. America is booming with innovation, but also grieving the death of one of its most beloved presidents, Abraham Lincoln. To honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint introduced the first ever Lincoln cent. It was revolutionary. For the first time, a real American president's face appeared on our pocket change. But what made the 1909 SVDB so rare? Well, it wasn't just the date. It was a battle of egos. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, a bold artist who proudly stamped his full initials, VDB, on the back of the coin, but the Treasury didn't like it. Some thought it was too much self-promotion. Within days, they ordered the initials removed. Now here's the kicker. Only 484,000 coins were minted in San Francisco before the initials vanished. Compare that to today's coins minted in the billions and you'll see why collectors call the 1909 SVDB a ghost coin. Now imagine this. You walk into a coin shop with a dusty old penny. The dealer's eyes widen. He slowly picks it up, studies the mint mark, flips it, and whispers, "You have a 1909 SVDB." This isn't a fantasy. It's happened. And it could happen to you. And yes, one of these coins was recently valued at $4 million because of its exceptional condition and historical significance. Still think pennies are just pocket junk? Let me ask you this. When was the last time you actually looked closely at one? Quick question. Have you ever tossed a penny into a wishing fountain? Now imagine tossing $4 million into that fountain. Oops. Let's not do that again, shall we? Back to the story. So how do you know if your penny is the one? Step 1, check the date, 1909. Step 2, look for the letter S under the date. That stands for San Francisco Mint. Step 3, flip the coin. Can you spot the initials VDB at the bottom of the reverse side? If all three align, congratulations, you might be holding the coin that could rewrite your future. Now here's the urgent part. Thousands of people find rare coins but lose millions by selling them the wrong way. Never rush to sell on online marketplaces without knowing the value. Connect with certified coin graders. Get it authenticated and appraised. And most importantly, don't fall for quick cash offers from unverified buyers, because the right buyer will pay life-changing money for the right coin. And yes, even worn or circulated versions of the 1909 SVDB can still fetch thousands of dollars. You don't need to be a collector. You just need to check your change. So, before you throw out that old jar of coins, ask yourself this: what if the key to financial freedom is already in your home? And here's your cliffhanger. In my next video, I'll show you another penny from the early 1900s that's shocking the market and being called the next 1909 SVDB by serious investors. You don't want to miss that. We're talking about one coin. One single cent. The 1943 copper Lincoln penny with no mint mark. It's been sold for a staggering $3.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $3.8 million, for a penny. And no, this isn't one of those internet myths. This coin is real. It's rare. And it could be sitting inside an old coffee can, a forgotten drawer, or even your childhood coin jar. Still think pennies are useless? Think again. Let me take you back to a story that might just make you look twice at every old coin you've ever touched. During World War II, the U.S. Mint made a massive shift. In 1943, they began striking pennies not in copper, but in steel, coated with zinc. Why? Because copper was urgently needed for the war effort. Ammunition. Wires. Tanks. Copper was critical to victory, but here's the twist. A handful, just a few, copper planchets from 1942 accidentally made their way into the coin presses in 1943. That mistake created one of the rarest, most valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1943 copper penny. Most people don't even know it exists. Here's where it gets thrilling. Only around 15 to 20 authentic 1943 copper pennies without a mint mark have ever been confirmed. And collectors? They go absolutely wild for them. The last known sale. $3.8 million, let me say that again, $3.8 million for a penny most people would toss on the sidewalk. Now imagine this. You're sorting through your late father's coin collection. You see a worn-out penny. It's dated 1943. It looks copper, not steel. You do a magnet test. Nothing. No attraction. Your hands start shaking. Could it be? Now, before we go any further, quick quiz. How many times have you dismissed an old coin thinking it was just pocket change? Be honest. Yeah, you might want to rethink that. Let's be honest here. We've all said it, it's just a penny. Well, if you've ever thrown one into a wishing well, I hope your wish was for $3 million. Because one of these could have granted it. So how do you know if your 1943 penny is the real deal? First, check the color. A genuine 1943 copper penny has the warm reddish-brown tone of a pre-1982 penny, not the silver gray of steel. Second, use a magnet. A steel penny will stick. A copper one won't. It's a simple trick, but it could change your life. Third, look for that mint mark. If there's no mint mark, that means it was made in Philadelphia, the same place the multi-million-dollar version was discovered. And fourth, get it authenticated. Because counterfeits are everywhere, and one small expert opinion could mean the difference between disappointment and early retirement. Now here's the chilling part, many of these copper 1943 pennies were likely melted down or lost forever. Every time someone says, it's just a penny, and tosses it away, one more priceless piece of history vanishes. So ask yourself, how many fortunes have been unknowingly thrown in the trash? Now let's shift from fear to opportunity. If you find a 1943 copper penny in your collection, you're holding a direct ticket to wealth. But here's the thing, time matters. Every year, more collectors flood the market. Every year, more people learn the truth. And that means one thing, competition. That if you're sitting on a collection and you're not checking every 1943 penny, you could be losing a fortune without even knowing it. Now, let me take you to the moment it all came full circle. In 2010, a man walked into a coin show. He pulled out a penny. It was brown. 1943, no mint mark. The dealer paused. Did the magnet test? No reaction. A week later, that coin sold for millions. He was an average man. No rich background. Just a box of old coins from his grandfather's garage. That one moment changed his entire life. Now you might be thinking, that's just luck. That could never happen to me. Well, let me ask you something, why not you? Why not now? Why keep waiting for the perfect moment when it might already be sitting in your house? So here's what you need to do, today. Go through your coin jars. Your drawers. Your closets. Look for that copper-colored 1943 penny. Test it. Study it. Get it verified, because here's the truth, the wealthy aren't always born rich. Sometimes, they're just the ones who paid attention, and maybe, just maybe, that one penny you've ignored your whole life, is the one thing that could buy you a new one. A new house. A new car. A new future, but you'll never know, unless you look. Don't wait for someone else to find your fortune, start searching now, because the next $3.8 million penny could be in your hand. Imagine waking up, going through an old box of coins in your drawer, and realizing that a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, is worth more than your house, your car, and maybe even your retirement fund combined. What if I told you that one 1955 Lincoln penny with a slight printing mistake is now worth $3.8 million? That's not a typo, that's a reality. Now here's the million-dollar question. Or rather, the $3.8 million question: do you have one of these pennies sitting quietly in your home, completely unnoticed? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might change the rest of your financial life. Let's rewind to 1955. It was the post-war boom. The American dream was alive. Factories were working overtime, and in one of those U.S. Mint facilities, a small mistake turned into one of the greatest treasures in American coin history. During a night shift at the Philadelphia Mint, a die, the stamp used to strike pennies, was misaligned. The result? A batch of Lincoln pennies with a clear doubled image on the front. The date, the word "Liberty," and even "In God We Trust" appeared doubled, as if they were typed with a shaking hand. This wasn't supposed to happen. But it did. And thousands of these flawed coins slipped through quality control and into the pockets of everyday Americans. Now here's the twist: most people never noticed. For decades, these coins circulated like any other penny. Kids spent them on candy. Adults dropped them in parking meters. Little did they know, they were passing around a future millionaire maker. Still think your old coins are junk? Quick quiz: what's more valuable, A, a gold barb, a Bitcoin, C, a 1955 double-die penny? If you answered A or B, I'll let you change your answer, because C is the correct one. And it's not even close. Fast forward to today. That same flawed penny is now worth up to $3.8 million in top condition. Let that sink in. Auction houses, collectors, and investors are hunting these down like modern-day treasure. In recent years, well-preserved examples have fetched 6 and 7 figures. That's enough to buy a luxury home, a new life, and financial freedom. But here's the catch: they're incredibly rare to find in pristine condition. Most were heavily circulated before people realized their value. So if yours is tucked away in a drawer, untouched for decades, you might be sitting on a jackpot. Now, let's be honest. Do you really know what's in that old coffee can of coins your grandfather left behind? Because in just a moment, I'll tell you exactly how to spot this rare penny and what to do if you find one. But first, there's something even more important you need to hear. Every year, more and more of these pennies are locked away in private collections. That means the number available for sale is shrinking fast. As scarcity increases, so does the value. If you wait too long to check your coins, you could miss your window. And here's the part that stings: people are selling these for just a few dollars without knowing what they have. Estate sales, flea markets, online auctions. Imagine giving away millions because you didn't take 10 minutes to learn what to look for. So how do you identify the 1955 double-die penny? First, look at the date. The 1955 should appear clearly doubled, almost as if it's blurred. Then check Liberty, you'll see the same doubling effect. Even In God We Trust will have a shadowed look. If it's there, it's unmistakable. And remember, there is no mint mark. These came from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, here's the most critical step: don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't try to make it look newer. A cleaned coin can lose up to 90% of its value instantly. Keep it untouched, store it safely, and then get it appraised professionally. This is your chance to take something forgotten and turn it into a fortune. But before you run to your coin jar, ask yourself this: what other rare coins are hiding in your home? Because the 1955 penny isn't the only one worth a fortune, not by a long shot. Yes, you heard that right. 1 penny. Not 1,000. Not 100. 1 dot, and it's not gold. It's not silver. It's copper. Welcome to the unbelievable story of the 1922 no-D Lincoln penny. A coin so rare, so mysterious, and so insanely valuable, it could change your life overnight. Now, before you toss out your spare change, hear this, because this coin isn't just valuable, it's legendary. But here's the catch: most people miss it. They either sell it too cheap or never realize what they had until it's gone. And today, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Our story begins in Denver, Colorado. The year was 1922. The world was roaring with change. Jazz was booming. The Great Depression was still years away. But deep in the U.S. Mint, something went terribly wrong, or incredibly right, depending on how you look at it. That year, the Denver Mint was the only facility producing Lincoln cents. But due to excessive wear on one of the dies, the hardened steel pieces used to strike the coins, a small batch of pennies was struck with a serious flaw. The D mint mark, which signifies Denver, was either weak, barely visible, or completely missing. Now imagine that, an official coin produced by the US government, with a crucial identity marker missing, that wasn't supposed to happen. But it did, and that's how the 1922 No D Lincoln cent was born. So why does that matter to you? Because this is one of the rarest and most valuable error coins in American history. And if you own one in excellent condition, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Let's pause for a second. I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have the $1 million penny? Good question, because unlike pizza coupons or lost socks, this penny doesn't come with a neon sign screaming, "I'm worth millions." Nope. It hides in plain sight, like a penny ninja. Sneaky, silent, and outrageously valuable. Now, let's talk numbers. In 2008, a 1922 No D Lincoln penny graded MS-65 red, that's near perfect condition, sold for $329,000 at auction, but in 2024, history was made again. A pristine specimen surfaced, and it shattered expectations. It was valued at a jaw-dropping $3.40 million. Why? Because collectors crave rarity. And this coin doesn't just check the box, it redefines it. Only a handful exist in mint state condition. Most are heavily circulated, worn, and scratched. So if yours is even close to a clean strike without the D, you may be holding one of the greatest coin treasures ever known. And here's where urgency comes in: these coins are being hunted down aggressively. The value is rising fast. The market is not slowing. And every year, fewer coins remain undiscovered. Still thinking you'll check your penny jar next week? You might be too late, but here's the real twist: not every 1922 penny without a visible D is genuine. Some are fakes. Others are altered. So how can you tell if yours is the real deal, and more importantly, how do you avoid getting scammed out of millions? We'll get to that in just a moment, but first, let's understand what makes this coin so unique under the microscope. So, how do you spot a true 1922 No D penny? First, check the reverse side. If the back of the coin is sharply struck and the obverse, that's the front, is soft or blurry where the D should be, you may have something. A real No D error often has a strong reverse strike with a weak or completely absent mint mark on the front. That's the key. Second, condition matters. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC will fetch the highest prices. If you think your coin is real, do not clean it. Cleaning destroys value. Now, if you're thinking, I might have this, don't just rush to eBay, contact a reputable coin dealer or grading service. Let professionals handle authentication, because the difference between a coin worth $20 and one worth $3.40 million, it's often just a tiny detail in professional validation. Let me ask you something: that if someone walked up to you right now and handed you $3 million, what would you do? Buy a home? Retire early? Travel the world? Now imagine realizing you already had the ticket, tucked in a coin jar, forgotten for decades. That's the real story behind this penny. It's not just a coin. It's a reminder. A symbol of how small details can lead to massive rewards, if you know what to look for. The 1922 No D Lincoln penny isn't just about money. It's about opportunity. It's about awareness. And it's about taking action before it's too late. People every day are discovering rare coins and selling them for life-changing amounts. You could be next, but only if you start checking, start researching, and stop waiting. So here's what to do right now: grab your old penny jars. Open that drawer. Dig through those rolls of change, because the $1 million coin may not be on display in a museum. It might just be in your own home, waiting to be found, and who knows, you might be one penny away from becoming a millionaire. But it's not a fantasy. It's a 1914 D Lincoln 1-cent penny, and yes, it has fetched offers of up to $3 million in today's rare coin market. Now, before you laugh and say, it's just a penny, let me ask you, how many of these have already slipped through your fingers, unnoticed? Keep watching, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to find it, and how one forgotten coin could change your entire financial future. And trust me, you don't want to regret throwing away a Millionaire's retirement plan. Let's start at the beginning. The 1914 D. Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint. Only 1.1 million were ever produced. In the world of coinage, that's almost nothing. Compare that to the hundreds of millions of modern pennies printed every year. This penny is a ghost, a whisper from the past. A coin that almost vanished before anyone realized how valuable it truly was. But why is it so valuable? First, rarity. Most 1914 D pennies entered circulation and were heavily worn. Today, finding one in pristine condition is like discovering a needle in a desert, not just a haystack. Second, demand. Lincoln cents are the most collected coin series in the United States. Every serious collector wants a 1914 D in their collection. And they're willing to pay anything to complete it. And third, the condition factor. If your coin is graded high by a professional service, say, in MS65 red, brown or better, you're not just sitting on copper. You're sitting on a ticket to a lifestyle most people only dream of. Let's pause for a second. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this thing could pay off my mortgage, my debt, or buy me a vacation home in Florida? If not, now's the time to start, because here's the kicker: most of these valuable coins don't look fancy at all. They're worn, faded, dull. You could be using one to hold down a napkin right now. Crazy, right? Let's reset for a second with a quick thought. Do you know why treasure hunters always wear such serious expressions? Because finding a coin like this is no joke. It's a life changer. And many people only find out they had one after it's gone. So how do you know if you have one? Here's what to check. The coin must say 1914 on the front. Beneath the date, look just to the left of Lincoln's chest for a small D mint mark. That's the Denver Mint symbol. No D means no deal. The condition matters a lot. Coins with minimal wear or those graded by PCGS or NGC are worth the most. Authenticity is key. Many counterfeits exist. If you suspect you have a 1914 D, do not clean it. Instead, have it authenticated by a professional. Cleaning could wipe away hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. Let me repeat that: do not clean it. You wouldn't polish the Mona Lisa, right? Here's where the urgency kicks in. Every year, more and more of these coins disappear. Sold privately. Lost. Damaged beyond value. Or worse, thrown away, and as their numbers fall, their value climbs. Just last year, a 1914 D penny graded MS66 red brown sold for nearly $3 million. That's not a rumor. That's a documented sale in today's coin market. Now think about your own coin jars. Your drawers. That shoebox in your garage. What if you're already holding the key to your financial freedom, and you don't even know it? The question now is, what are you going to do about it? Because people who act, who dig in and learn what their coins are truly worth, are the ones who walk away with the wealth, not tomorrow. Not someday. Now, this is your opportunity to turn old coins into new life possibilities: retirement, real estate, or just the joy of knowing you didn't let a $3 million opportunity slip away. And before you go rushing to check your coin stash, let me ask you something. What if I told you there's another penny, even rarer than the 1914 D, that's still hiding in collections across America, and it's worth even more? But that is a story for the next video. So subscribe, hit the bell, and stay tuned, because your next million might be just one penny away. Now let me ask you this: what would you do if you found a fortune hidden in plain sight? Before you laugh it off, stick with me. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover the true story, the hidden clues, and the life-changing power behind this rare American coin that has collectors losing sleep, and investors writing six-figure checks. This isn't just about a penny. This is about turning the forgotten into the unforgettable. The ordinary into a ticket to an extraordinary life. So, if you've ever thought your pocket change was worthless, it's time to rethink everything. But how does a coin most people wouldn't look at twice become a millionaire maker? Well, the answer lies in a wartime mistake and a twist of fate. Let's rewind to 1944. World War II is nearing its end. The U.S. Mint is under immense pressure to save copper for ammunition. In 1943, they struck pennies on zinc-coated steel to conserve copper. But in 1944, copper returned, Or so they thought, due to a rare error. Just a few leftover steel planchets from 1943 accidentally made it into the 1944 production line at the Philadelphia Mint. These mistakes were never meant to exist. Only a handful were struck. And even fewer survived. Here's the twist. These 1944 steel wheat pennies with no mint mark are among the rarest coins in American history. Most people wouldn't recognize them if they saw one. But collectors? They're obsessed. Think about it. While millions of 1944 copper pennies were circulated, fewer than a few dozen steel versions are known to exist today. It's like owning a typo in the Constitution. It's not supposed to be there, and that's exactly what makes it priceless. One such coin was discovered in a boy's lunch money change in the 1950s. He kept it. Decades later, it appraised for millions. Can you imagine? A childhood keepsake becoming the foundation of generational wealth. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one? Don't worry, we're getting there. But before we do, quick question, when was the last time you checked under your couch cushions? Because at this rate, you might want to start lifting cushions like you're on a treasure hunt. Let's be honest. Most people don't know what they're sitting on. Literally. Thousands of Americans unknowingly own coins worth hundreds of thousands, even millions, and throw them in coin jars or donation bins, and that is the tragedy, because knowledge is not just power here, it's wealth. Now, here's the part that really matters. How do you know if your 1944 penny is one of the ultra-rare steel ones, and not just another copper coin? The difference is everything. It's the difference between pocket change and financial freedom. Let's get into the specifics. First, check the material. If your 1944 penny sticks to a magnet, stop everything. That's your first sign. Steel is magnetic. Copper is not. If your penny sticks, you may be holding a unicorn. Second, look for the absence of a mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint didn't use one. That's where these rare coins were mistakenly struck. So if your penny says 1944, is silver gray in color, sticks to a magnet, and has no mint mark under the date, you need to get that coin authenticated immediately. And here's the kicker, once verified, the auction value can reach up to $2.7 million. That's not hype. That's market reality. One of these coins recently made headlines after selling for that exact amount to a private collector. Now, imagine the life you could build with that kind of money. No more debt. No more worry. A paid-off home. A secure retirement. Maybe even that beach house you thought would stay a dream. And the best part? It was in your pocket the whole time. That if you're still here and haven't grabbed your old coin jar yet, either you're driving or incredibly patient. Either way, we respect it, but don't wait. The market for rare coins is heating up. And as more people become aware, competition increases. What's rare today could become even more priceless tomorrow. This isn't just about coins. It's about change, in every sense of the word. A single penny changed someone's life forever. Why not yours? So go ahead. Dust off those jars. Open that drawer. Search your childhood keepsakes. Because buried within the ordinary, you might find the extraordinary. The next millionaire story could start with your penny. Don't forget to like this video if you found it valuable, and subscribe to our channel for more secrets about coins that can change your life. Drop a comment if you found an unusual penny. You never know what you might have until someone takes a closer look. Until next time, remember, it's not just a coin. It's your legacy. Do you have a penny lying around that could change your life forever? Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you a single coin, just one copper-colored penny, is now worth $2.5 million? Yes, you heard that right, not a gold bar, not a rare diamond. A 1931 SVDB Lincoln 1-cent coin. This isn't fiction. This is the reality of numismatic treasure hunting, and someone out there, maybe even you, might be holding a retirement plan in your pocket change. But wait. Before you run to your drawer of old coins, let's dig into why this humble little penny holds such staggering value, how to know if you own one, and most importantly, what you need to do right now if you do. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know if your coin is worth millions, you'll understand why time is everything. Let's begin with a story you've probably never heard before. In 1931, the United States was in the depths of the Great Depression, jobs were vanishing. Breadlines were growing. The U.S. Mint had dramatically reduced coin production because people simply weren't spending money. This economic pressure led to something extraordinary. Only 866,000 Lincoln cents were minted at the San Francisco Mint that year. That's one of the lowest mintages in the entire Lincoln penny series. Now let me give you some perspective. A regular penny from your pocket. It's been minted by the billions. But the 1931, yes. Less than a million ever existed. Today, experts estimate that fewer than 150,000 survive in decent condition, and only a tiny handful, maybe fewer than 10, are in near-perfect mint state condition. These are the coins that have made headlines by selling for $2.5 million in private auctions and elite coin shows. Let me ask you something, have you ever wondered if your family handed you something truly valuable, and you just never knew? That old coffee can of coins in your father's garage. The dusty box in your grandmother's attic. Sometimes, fortunes are hidden in plain sight. Let's look closer at what makes the 1931 penny so valuable. First, that S mint mark below the date. It must be clearly visible, though some worn coins may need magnification. Second, the condition. A penny in worn condition might be worth $100 to $500. But the gem quality coins, the ones that collectors and museums battle over, are graded MS65 red or higher. These are the coins that turn average people into millionaires overnight. Feeling that tingle of possibility yet? Let's keep going. Quick question. Have you ever dropped a penny and decided it wasn't worth bending over to pick it up? Well, if it was a 1931 congratulations. You may have just tossed away a luxury car. Funny how a little copper disc can hold the same value as a beachfront property in Florida, but I'm not here to entertain regrets. I'm here to open your eyes, because the next part is even more critical. Here's the part most people miss: timing. Rare coins follow market cycles. And right now, demand for the 1931 penny is exploding. Why? Because wealthy collectors are racing to complete their Lincoln penny sets before prices spike even higher. This surge is driving up value fast. In fact, just last year, a collector paid $2.52 million for a certified MS65 red 1931 That record stunned the numismatic world, and there's a reason for that: price scarcity. Condition. Provenance. Timing. Right now, the stars have aligned. But they won't stay that way for long. Prices could surge. Or, the market could cool. That's why if you even suspect you own a 1931 Lincoln penny, you need to act. Get it professionally graded. Seek an appraisal from a trusted coin expert. And most importantly, don't sell it for less than it's worth. Think of it this way: would you sell your house without knowing its true market value? Then why would you give away $1 million coin without getting it properly assessed? Now here's the kicker: the 1931 isn't the only penny worth millions. There are at least 5 other pennies hiding in collections across America that could pay off your mortgage, fund your retirement, and change your life forever. In our next video, I'll reveal the 1943 copper penny, a coin so rare it's considered the holy grail of U.S. coinage, but you'll have to wait for that. Right now, your mission is simple: check your collection. Look for 1931. Look for the S. And look closely, because for someone out there, today could be the day that a penny becomes a passport to wealth. This is not about luck. It's about knowledge, timing, and action. And now you have all 3. Don't wait. If this video opened your eyes, share it with a friend or family member who might be sitting on hidden treasure. Subscribe for more insider guides on rare coins, hidden values, and life-changing opportunities, because you never know, the next video might hold the secret that changes everything. Thanks for watching. And remember, every great fortune starts with a small discovery. Will yours begin with a penny?